Third take. I rambled for almost 10 minutes this time on something that didn't even touch on what I wanted to talk about. Important stuff, don't get me wrong. Maybe if I get this stuff going on more, maybe I'll release it later on as extras or something, who knows. While this is my first video on this particular channel, it is not my first video on YouTube, although I have very few people who even care, so I guess it really doesn't matter. However, I'm going to be reblogging this onto my Tumblr, and as such, I do have over 100 followers. Hello. Some of them are people who know me, who've known me for years. Some people are people who don't know me, but have contacted me for a while. And some people are people kind of in the middle, that being the people on Intervoid especially. Hi, Intervoid guys. So, let's get to it, shall we? My name is Anita Priscilla Barton. I was born physically male, and last year during April or June or July, somewhere in that zone, it was the summer of hell for me. I had come to realize all the small little bits of my life came together to become a whole, in that I realized that I was trans. I am not one who strongly suffers from dysphoria, I don't think. Like, there'll be moments where I'll feel like I should be more woman. There are times where I'll in fact cry and be jealous of the beauty of another woman. It's just that simple. I'm also bisexual, so I also look at those women not just in jealousy, but also in lust, I will admit. Well, I'm guaranteed bisexual, although I'm more skewed towards the female end, so I'm closer to being lesbian. All these labels get confusing. I might be pan, I don't know, I've never tried. I've never really thought about it that far. I just know that I've tested myself and gone, okay, would I do this man? Yes. Even if I didn't go through an operation, even if I didn't magically become a girl, even if whatever happens in the future happens, even if I stayed in this sad state of affairs, I would do that guy, yeah. So, realizing that, I know where I'm at on that one. But yeah. A lot of history, although small, minor little things, came together, and I, thanks to a friend of mine, realized that I wish I were born a girl, that I don't feel like I'm in the wrong body. See, that's the funny thing. I don't feel like I was born wrong, just that I wasn't born right. I know that seems like the same thing, but it's really not. It's sort of a very fine line, splitting hairs sort of thing, true, but it's there. It's that specific difference where you look at a color between green and blue, and there's this point where it switches between green and blue. Not a green blue, but green and blue. You're like, this is definitely green, this is definitely blue, but they both look the same color. It's like that. Or purple if you want, or orange, you know. The point is you get the concept. I guess what makes me most depressed is my voice, my fuzz, and, well, my hair. If those three things were fixed, I would have an easier time just right off the bat. For some people, they need more than that. They need so much more than that. A friend of mine, Rain, my heart goes out to you, Rain. I hope you took that picture. I don't know if you did, and if you did, congratulations. I'm happy. But yeah, I'd eventually told my mother, and she had realized that for years the way I described my female characters compared to my male characters was intriguing, in that my male characters tended to feel very flat, very lifeless. My female characters tend to have life and vibrancy. I'm not an indicator of an absolute you know, gender thing, but it was a thing that she looked back and she went, you know, in hindsight, some things become obvious. When I told her my name choice, it was actually pretty funny because I'd asked her months before when I was still dealing with just being gender fluid. I was starting to feel like I really wanted to start to step out and be more female already. I didn't realize that I was this, you know. um, I had asked her what would my name have been, and my real name, my real name, fuck that noise. My birth name. There we go. That's the right phrase. I'm still trying to parse out all these phrases myself, and it's kind of a mess. I cannot wait for the next generation because they will have such an easier time of this. Because we'll finally have phrases and concepts, and even third gender type concept. Well, I don't mean to do it like that. I mean in the sense of covering the whole zone of the in between, the intersexed. I mean, some people like Zer and Z, and that feels clunky to say out loud. They and them, that works beautifully, but only in the second or third person, not so much in the first. Then again, you don't need it in the first, do you? Yeah, whatever, you get the point. Moving on. But yeah, the point is that I'd asked her, and my original name was based off my grandpa's first name and my grandpa's other first name, and put those together. Dad's side, mom's side, boom, done. So we figured that, and she said that at the time that she probably would have done the same thing with my grandma and my other grandma, and so I would have been Mary Marlene. Yeah, my name would have been Mary Marlene. I could shorten that to Eminem. Yes, because I'm strawberry blonde technically. Probably would have gotten the nickname Candy if I were born a girl. In some ways, I'm kind of glad I got this, because that would have been... There's some things about names that do help shape you as a person, and that would not have been good for me. No offense to any candies out there, trust me. It's just, it would have been a nickname, not an actual name. And when you have a nickname, there's a higher grade of either bullshit or... It's a whole huge branching thought process here, and I want to try to keep this under 20 minutes, so let's keep going. I'm rambling too much, I'm sorry. But the point is that when I told her my name, she was happy that I took the name Barton, because that's my family name on her side. And she was happy just for me in general. My brother had already come out as gay for several years now, and when I came out to her, it wasn't so much of a shock in the same way as if... I guess if I would have come out sooner, it would have been different. And it's really a shock to my family because my brother was obvious. Everybody knew right off the bat that he was definitely batting for the home team. But me, I wasn't so obvious. I wasn't quite as obvious. I wasn't as rough and tumble as some guys are, but I wasn't quite as quiet either. I wasn't effeminate, but I wasn't masculine, which goes into play with the whole, dabbling in the gender fluidity thing, the previous year. But when I talked to my friend, it just all came to a head, and I realized the one wish I've had my entire life, the number one thing. For example, gender dysphoria. There are some of you out there who hurt. It's not literally physical necessarily for most of you. Some of you maybe. I've had stress before where it was so bad where it felt like my body was tearing apart. So I know that level of depression. Believe me, I know it. It's a terrible place to be. But still, gender dysphoria is a heavy thing, even if it doesn't hurt physically. And most of you, it probably doesn't hurt physically. It probably feels more frustrating and depressing and just empty sometimes. Like you look in the mirror and the person you look at, it's you. Your body recognizes you, but only in the sense of almost like a video game sense. Like you're controlling this avatar, but it's not the character you wanted to choose. And you don't really have a choice. You wanted the other one, but you were given this one. The Ubisoft effect! Sorry, okay, that's enough. I'm sorry. But yeah. I don't have that as strong. I think I might sometimes, but I don't have a strong dysphoria. Like I said earlier, I think I said it on this take. I'm pretty sure I did. Yes, the green-blue thing. You know, for me, it's a splitting hairs thing. It's, I don't feel wrong in this body, I just don't feel right. You know, if I were a woman, I know in my heart that I would feel right. 100% right. It sometimes feels wrong to have something between my legs. It's frustrating, you know. I was pretty proud of my beard when I grew it out full, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, having a beard in the first place is kind of frustrating for me, because it's a very non-feminine thing, and while I'm not big on being feminine, that's one of the things for me personally. Don't get me wrong, there are some girls out there who have beards who are natural-born women who have beards. Bless your heart, you are still beautiful. I've seen some pictures. There's this one Islamic or Muslim girl. Yeah, I reblogged her pictures a long time ago, and she was beautiful with the beard. I think she was part of the Sheik. Forgive me, I am terrible with a lot of. I blame my upbringing on that. Not my mom, but my religious upbringing on that one. Okay. And my attention span. Yeah. By the way, in case this has been bugging you, I'm sorry. I didn't buy a normal colored one, and my hair is, like I said, balding, and I wanted to feel at least a little bit more like a girl today, so I got my, yeah, I haven't started taking any hormones yet, as you can tell. Yeah. And I still gotta go to work tomorrow, so I don't want to shave all this. I would love to. But I'll get to that in a minute. I'm trying to keep this under, so I got 8 more minutes. I'm going to try to keep this under 20 minutes. Back to the point. The point is that between the time that I was talking with my friend and when I talked to my mom, I was also working night shift at the time and dealing with a lot of other stresses and personal issues. And it all rolled into one big ball of stress, which is why I call the summer of 2014 the summer of hell. When it came out to my mom, I felt a little bit of relief. When it came out to my brother, I had to apologize to him because some of the rhetoric I've said over the years, even some of the better stuff, was still said in a manner and in a not the most loving sort of way. I was never derogatory. I mean, you can't be to family. Not honestly love them and be. No. You gotta make up your mind. Either you love them or you hate them. And if you're gonna love them, you gotta love them. And when you love them, you don't get derogatory. You just accept them for what they are. And my problem wasn't so much loving him as brother, because I do. I don't always like him. Then again, that's how siblings are. But I do love him as my brother. And it was my religious thought process trying to fight with my, honest feelings about him. And going, but he's just a dude. I mean, what's the problem? If he loves other dudes, not my business. So, but I still had to apologize for that, and I did. And I came out to my aunt, and she was kind of my first aunt. Well, technically my third aunt. My family's a mess. A wonderful mess. If I keep these videos up, I'll explain it more later. I'll explain all this in more detail each time, maybe. But yeah. I plan on making this a thing. I'm going to try to make this a thing because I really need to move forward. But yeah, I came out to my other aunt. I still have one more aunt to come out to before I can come out on Facebook because she happens to be the one person in my family besides my brothers who actually friended me. So it's like right now, it's like I could post this on Facebook, but it might not have a good effect. I don't know what her thoughts are on it. Although she's complimented my legs. I guess I have very lovely legs. I don't know. She complimented me in a family sort of way. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like you're hot. Sort of, no, that would have been very uncomfortable. No, it was a family thing. Just get your minds out of the wrong places. Thank you. But yeah. around that time, we had the Black and Blue uh, tournament event thing on Enter Void, and I had came out to the people, a couple of my closer friends on the site in the Hangouts while I was drawing the comic because the comic was based on my feelings. I might go ahead and post the link down below. If not, then go to that go to entervoid.com and look up Pepperjack, and you'll find, well, right now it's more like Queen Pepperjack blah 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 blah, because I was going to try and enter the Queen of Void and King of Void battles. Well, the Queen of Void for me, but that was mostly because my character's female, not me. More later. Try to keep this low. But yeah, if you want to see it, it's in my own personal comics thing. It's one of my more recent-ish ones. But yeah, that one, it was kind of crappy. It was rushed, last-minute stuff, but it was solidly from the heart. It was solidly, how I felt at the time. The darker, depressive thoughts as I came to realize what it means to be trans. Which brings me up to where I am right now. The good news is I'm in a place where my roommates accept me. I don't know how far they accept me yet. I mean, you never, rubber meets the road and all that jazz, but for the most part, I get the feeling that they accept me. I kind of worry about some of the friends that come by, but, they just have to go fucking deal with it. But my workplace, I got really good medical from it. Right now, as long as, the Obamacare thing doesn't get, well, the Affordable Health Care Act, let's call it like it is. I hate the term Obamacare, and I don't know why I keep using it. Oh, I know why, because fucking media keeps using it. Anyways. But, it's hard for me to come out at work. There's some people I've come out to already. One person doesn't work there anymore, and the other person is one of my managers, and she's a wonderful, wonderful lady. But yeah, right now I want to come out in person there at my job, but it just, I don't know if I'll be accepted, if I'll be ridiculed. I would definitely be ridiculed by some people. I mean, it's a public job. I work at a grocery store, for crying out loud. But I mean, like, I can deal with customers. Customers just can just go fuck themselves. If they don't like it, they can just go to another cashier, deal with it. I am who I am. We live in damn California. I live just 60 miles north of San Francisco. Deal with it. But my coworkers, on the other hand, are people that I have to deal with every day. And I don't know if I want to deal with them every day. So right now I'm working on my art. A lot of people have heard that from me a lot of times. I have been making progress, okay? I have. Just very, very slow. Anyways. Thank you very much for watching this far. And I know I've just rambled for the most part. I haven't really said much of any, I guess, real substance, I guess. But I thank you guys, and to all you other girls and guys out there, and all those in between who are posting this today. Thank you. Congratulations. And to those of you who are too scared, to those of you who are in danger, if you do, our hearts go out to you. And to those people who have been beaten, hurt, killed, or have even been driven to suicide, our hearts remember you all. There's a long, long list of names. I barely remember some of them because I'm terrible with names, but I still remember. Today's a day for you. Because each year, as this thing grows bigger, those of you who've been hurt will be more and more vindicated. Those of you who have to hide will find a better chance to come out into the open. Each year that this grows, there's a better chance for all of us to just live like human beings. I don't feel pretty enough. I have not even started on any of my transitioning, aside from, I guess, the transitioning of spirit or viewpoint, maybe. I know I have a silly wig, and you can barely even tell I have falsies. And my clothing is pretty much male-oriented. So taking just a selfie just didn't feel like enough for me. Don't feel like it's a challenge. This is just because I wanted to. Because I personally felt for me that I needed something more to express myself. So to all you who've drawn something, who've written, who've posted of any sort, thank you very much for giving me the strength to do something. Thank you very much for giving others the strength to do something. Congratulations for your strength. Going forward, let's just hope for a better world, yeah? I don't really know the point beyond that, really. I'm the Pepper Jack. This is my first post as me, as honestly me.